Okay, here we go. First step, you got to get in the zone. Second step, chip your wire, stick your knife down the middle. Everything's frozen. Tip your knife sideways a little bit so it runs against the ground wire. Peel it back and cut this jacket off as short as possible. Get rid of that shit. Cut it off nice and short. Throw it on the ground because you're an electrician. You don't clean up after yourself. Done with the knife. First things first is the ground wire. Wrap it around clockwise. So when you tighten the screw, it sucks it in rather than spitting it out. Remember, we want suckers, not spitters. Okay. Grab a red Robbie for this job, not a flat blade. Okay, box is bonded. Done. Now, demonstration purposes, I got a chunk of wire here. It's 1 foot long. Okay? None of this 6-inch, 8-inch bullshit. Grab a fucking foot of wire. What's 4 inches worth of wire worth? Not much. So just fucking do it right. Okay? Get your pigtails ready. Throw your garbage on the ground. Now, what I'm going to do here is arrange my wires. This bare wire, it's called the ground. It's just a fucking spare wire. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to leave just enough to fucking grab and make a good splice. I'm going to crimp it there or cut it there, and I'm going to grab all three and pull out slightly away from my hand and twist just a couple times. Now you can maybe see there's a little bit of shit at the end. Fucking cut off a 1/4 inch. And then I got a whole fucking jar of Moretz here. Yellows and blues for, this is 3 wires. That's 14 gauge. So if you're a pussy, you're going to use the blue ones. And if you're a real man, you're going to use the yellow ones. Oops, I used the wrong one. Ha. And you just do this as tight as you fucking can. None of this pussy ass shit. And then you should be able to grab that fucking thing and pull on it and nothing happens. And then your wire's nice and short. So it goes down to the bottom of the box and up to the top. And this is just an extra wire. So you just cram it at the back. This ground wire is going to come down over here. Boom. Done. Okay. That was the easy spare. Next I'm going to do the neutral. So I'm going to get my hots out of the way. And the neutral, same thing. I'm going to come over. Just bend it like that. Sideways. Prepare yourself for a nice easy job. Now my first step is I'm going to cut it to a length that I want to work on it. Nice comfortable length. And I'm going to leave it extra 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to figure out which hole it goes in, because I don't do solid wire very often. And now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to measure this. And we're, we're 7/8 of an inch there. So I would say 3/4, but hey, 7/8. Let's go. I'm going to line up all the insulation here in a nice triangle. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to grab my linesman's, and I'm going to pull and twist. Pull and twist. Pull and twist. And look at that. You have an amazing connection without even putting a Moretz on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down to about 1/2 inch. Boom. Look at that. It's holding together. No need for anything. Okay. And let's measure this just for demonstration purposes. It's 1/2 inch, bang on. And then we put them right on. These ones are nice and easy on the hands. You get lots of leverage. And you still fucking do it as tight as you possibly can. And then when you pull on it as hard as you can, nothing happens. And then you tuck that in there. Okay. Next one. Same thing. No, we're going to do it different this time. So I'm going to cut it a 1/4 inch shorter this time. And instead of doing 7/8 of an inch, I'm going to do 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we are going to do the lazy man version. It's not illegal, but if you're going to do it, fucking do it right. Now you're going to crank this on. I'm talking like a fucking asshole, I think. If you can't hold the wires, I hate it when people twist this shit. Don't twist it. Hold that wire as leverage so that after you make a good connection, your wires aren't all twisted. Now, you can still pull on that. Nothing's coming apart. And when you take the red off, it looks like you used your linesman's. So that's the simple way to do it. But this is your length here. Not long, just long enough to go down to the opposite side of the box and back up. Cram them in there. You made good connections so you can be rough with it. They're not coming apart if you do it properly. Now here, depending what your devices are looking like, you might want to trim your ground a little longer and then put a shit loop in it and then cut these. Boom. That's splices pushed back to the back of the box. You got 4 inches sticking out. That's just enough to do 2 folds. 1 fold over, 1 fold in. Boom. You're ready for drywall. That's how you do it.